Good afternoon, grade sixes. Welcome to today's lesson. Today I'm joined by Tyrone Spenton. Tyrone, today we are going to learn about housing small livestock. Housing small livestock. We are talking about animals. We want to talk about housing small livestock. We are firstly going to talk about housing poultry. Housing poultry. Poultry are animals like chickens, turkeys, ducks. When they are put together, we call them poultry. Okay. So how are chicks kept? Nowadays, many people are keeping chicks at home and are making money. Tyrone, I can only see your shadow. Do you think you can move somewhere where I can see you? Yeah, that's better now. That's much better. So I want to talk about housing chicks. Chicks are kept in a brooder. Chicks are kept in a brooder. Brooder, B-R-O-O-D-E-R. Chicks are kept in a brooder. They are provided with warmth and food as shown in the figure 15.2. This is the picture of a brooder. There is a brooder there. I'm sure you've seen a brooder. It has a feeder. It has a feeder. It also has a light. It has a drinker there. And it has litter. It has litter there. This is the picture of a brooder. So in an exam, you can get this picture and you can be asked to label, okay? Here we have the feeders, right? It has the feeder. It has a small light there. It has a drinker and it has litter that is put underneath there. And these are the chicks there. Have you ever seen where they keep chicks, Tyrone? What do you think they need the light for? What do you think they need the light for?
For warmth.
Sorry?
For warmth.
Yes, for warmth. Thank you, Tyrone. So remember, these chicks are day-old chicks. They need a lot of warmth. If they are not kept warm, that's why you notice that people buy chicks in hundreds. And at the end of the day, they have about 80 or 50 because other chicks would have died. They are very, very sensitive to any change in temperature, especially low temperatures. So chicks are very delicate. They should be handled carefully. So let us look at the safety precautions. I want you to take down the safety precautions. You can be asked to name 2 or 3 safety precautions that you must use when you are taking care of chicks or when you are housing chicks. Number 1, you give them water all the time. They need water all the time. They have that small drinker inside the brooder there where they are supposed to keep on drinking water. They need water all the time. So you must keep on pouring water so that they can take their water there. You must keep them warm. Keep them warm. Others who have heaters, they provide a heater. They're always having a heater around so that it becomes the room is always warm. They close the room, they don't open the windows, and the light is always on so that the chicks have a lot of warmth. And also keep stock feeds separate from fertilizers and chemicals. Remember that all chicks don't just eat sata or these imbidas that we have at home. They eat special stock feeds that you must buy from the supermarket. Make sure you keep those stock feeds separate from fertilizers. There are some people who just take the stock feeds and put them in the storeroom where there are fertilizers and chemicals. Something can happen. These fertilizers can infect, disturb these stock feeds, and it can affect the stock feeds that have been given to these chicks. Keep medicines out of children. There are some medicines, you must keep them out of reach of children. Protect chicks from rats, snakes, and dogs. If you have a dog at your home, don't let keep these chicks away from the dogs. And also, if you keep chicks at home, you're going to attract a lot of snakes. Okay, the snakes, they like the chicks, so you must make sure that you protect these chicks from the rats and even the rats as well. They can eat these day-old chicks. And also, when you're keeping your chicks, make sure you protect them from the little children. Remember, our small children, when they see the chicks, they think the chicks are small. They can hold them in their hands, and if you hold too much, you press too much, you can kill the chicks. Some children just hold the chicks and the chick is dead. Okay, so you must make sure you protect these chicks away from little children. Count the chicks every day to avoid any losses. So keep on counting the chicks to avoid any losses. The second one, we're going to look at housing broilers. How do we keep broilers? So remember, the small chicks, they are going to grow. They are going to grow into small, they're going to grow into broilers. Nowadays, people are keeping broilers a lot. These white chickens that we have, that we are eating nowadays, they are called broilers. So chicks will have full feathers after 4 weeks, and they can keep themselves warm. So the brooders, you keep these chicks inside these brooders or in the warmth, under the warmth for 4 weeks. Then for 4 weeks, that's when these chicks have full feathers. So a question can come to you in a paper one or a paper two. How old do the chicks have feathers? Sometimes you can see four weeks, or they can say 1 month. So if you don't see 4 weeks, you can choose 1 month, okay? And they can keep themselves warm during that time. At this stage, they are transferred to the deep litter house. So the chicks are kept in a brooder. After 4 weeks, you transport them to what we call the deep litter house. This is a deep litter house. There it is. That's a deep litter house. This is a deep litter house. That's the one that we have outside our homes. Most people have these ones outside their homes. They build them outside their homes. They can come in different shapes and sizes. Okay. So this deep litter house, they have a wire mesh. A wire mesh that is like a wire to protect these chicks. It have a door. It has a roof. It also have a water trough inside there, so that the the broilers are able to get water from there. So at this stage, they are transported to the deep litter house. A deep litter house is used to keep broilers. So you can be asked in an exam, where do we keep broilers? We keep broilers in a deep litter house. That's where we keep broilers. And we keep chicks in a brooder, okay? Or we house them. They can say, where do you house broilers? That's another way in which the question can come, or they can say, where do we keep broilers? In the third stage, when housing poultry, we talk about housing layers. What is a layer, Tyrone?
What is?
A layer?
It's a chicken that gives birth to eggs.
Sorry?
The chicken that has eggs.
Yes, a chicken that lays eggs, okay? So broilers, we eat them for meat. And layers, we keep them for eggs. So we also have to house layers. The deep litter house can also be used to keep layers. So if maybe, let's say, you remember, people can use small scale agricultural farming. When you're using small scale agricultural farming, you can use the deep litter house to keep your layers. But layers need nests to lay eggs. So therefore, we should add nest boxes to the deep litter house. So if you have your deep litter house in there, make sure you create a nest box where the layers are able to have their to lay their eggs there. Okay, so this is a picture of a deep litter house. You can make it on your own. It can be customarily made. You can make it on your own to keep your layers there. So this is the box there where you can put your layers inside the deep litter house. This is a place to provide a comfortable place for these layers to lay their eggs, there. So you can provide a space there inside the deep litter house. Okay, now we want to talk about housing rabbits. When we talk about small livestock, we have poultry and we have rabbits. Nowadays, people keep rabbits as well for meat, for even for selling. They sell these rabbits to other people. These are good agribusinesses, keeping chickens and rabbits. Shadrach, can you hear me? Shadrach also has a challenge with his video. I'm sure he's going to be joining us as well. So we are want to talk about housing rabbits. Rabbits are kept in cages which allow for enough air movement. So the rabbits, they can ask you, Where are rabbits kept? Rabbits are kept in cages, which allow enough air movement. So these cages where rabbits are kept, they need to allow air to move in and out. They need a lot of air. So they are housed in cages. The cages have screen wire mesh floors to allow droppings to fall out of the cages. So the cages that are made, they have some small holes below so that those droppings, they are needed. You remember we have manure, rabbit manure, so the droppings are allowed to fall out of the cages. So the cages have skin wire mesh floors to allow droppings to fall out, okay? So this is an example of a cage that is used for a rabbit. This is an example of the cage. So this is where the rabbit is, and we have the wire mesh that is below there. All these are droppings that have fallen on the ground there. So this is how you house a rabbit. If you someone asks you, or there are people who are housing rabbits, this is an example of the cages that they can use to house the rabbits. So what does this cage have for the rabbit? This cage, there is Shadrach. We are happy at least today's Shadrach, how are you?
Fine.
At least today. It's okay, Shadrach. I could see you were trying. Today we are continuing from where we left the last time. We have already done housing chicks. Now we are moving on housing rabbits, where we are housing rabbits. We said rabbits are kept in cages, which allow enough air movement, and the cages have screen wire mesh floors. They have holes in there to allow the droppings to fall out of the cages, okay? So we're talking now that what does this cage have? This cage has a roof. People put asbestos on top. It has a roof there. It has the wire mesh. The wire mesh, remember the wire mesh is different from the fence wire that we use. The wire mesh is a bit softer and smaller in size. Even the boxes, they are smaller in size. It has a lid, and it has a feed trough as well inside the trough. It has a feed trough and a water trough inside there. So even the rabbits you need to put something for them to feed in and put water in there, okay? Just like human beings, you need to water all the time, as well as the animals that we keep as well. So a rainproof structure is needed to shelter the rabbits. The rabbits need a rainproof structure. A rainproof structure. If you see that shelter I showed you, it is a rainproof structure that is needed. It's a rainproof shelter. We also have rabbit cages as well. There are rabbit cages as well that we have. A cage is made of wire mesh supported by metal bars. This one is easier to make, the rabbit cages. This one is easier to make. It's the one that we normally see in other places. I'm going to show you. This should be strong enough to keep dogs and snakes out. This one is a double cage on a raised platform to allow droppings to fall. Can you see this one that is below? This is a rabbit cage. This one is the one that most people are able to make on their own. It should be made to be high enough so that the snakes don't go through, as well as we keep them away from the dogs and the snakes as well. And the roofing, we say that it must be waterproof as well, rainproof. And we have the wire mesh there to allow air movement in and out, okay? It also has a door as well. There's a small door. This is the door. It has a small door that is made there. And it has the thick gauche mesh here, which is open so that the droppings are allowed to come out there. Here are the droppings at the bottom there, okay? There is a door, housing a door. What is a door? You can tell me what is a door. D-O-E. What is a door? Yes, Shadrach? What is a door?
A female rabbit.
A female rabbit. Rabbits, we also have a door. A door is a female rabbit. So remember, we talked about housing layers. So as well in rabbits, you have to house a doe. When a doe is about to produce young ones, it is kept in a cage with a nest box. So a doe is housed in a nest box, just like that nest box that we have as well. It is housed in a nest box to allow it to give birth nicely there. Yes, we house a doe. You can be asked, what is a doe? A doe is a female rabbit. It is housed in a nest box. So this, let me summarize our lesson for today. We said young chicks are kept in a brooder in which warmth, food, and water is provided. After 4 weeks, broilers are transferred to a deep litter house. So we said after 4 weeks or 1 month. Nest boxes are provided when layers are kept in a deep litter house. Rabbits need a house with enough fresh air, a rainproof roof, and cages should be made strong enough to keep stray dogs and snakes out. Cages should have floors which allow for the droppings to fall out. At kindling, doors are provided with nest boxes. So at kindling, meaning that when they are about to give birth, that is the process when they are kindling, they are about to give birth. So they are supposed to be provided with a nest box to allow them to give birth nicely. So before we end our lesson today, can you tell me what did you learn, anything you learned about today before we end our lesson for today? Anything that you learned about. I know Shadrach joined us later, but he managed to get something as well. Let me start with Tyrone. Yes, Tyrone, what did you learn about today? Anything that you managed to learn about today?
That when the chicks are still small, they should have enough warmth.
Yes, when the chicks are small, they should be given enough water. They should be given a lot of warmth in the form of a bulb, or we have people who provide what you call them, these heaters as well, and they're kept in a brooder. Thank you, Tyrone, for that. Shadrach, when you came in, what do you still remember? Anything that you managed to learn about? I know you were late, but you managed to get something.
I learned about that a female rabbit should, when it's about to have birth, you should keep it in a nest box, and so that can have some comfort when it's about to give birth.
Thank you, Shadrach. Shadrach is giving us about the rabbit when a doe is about to kindle, which means that when it's about to give birth, we must keep it in a nest box so that it's able to get that comfort to be able to give birth. Thank you, Tyrone Spenton and Shadrach Mutongwizo for joining me on today's lesson. Let me give you a chance to say goodbye to one another. Let's end our lesson for today. So bye, Tyrone, and bye, Shadrach. See you again tomorrow. Bye. I've already
Bye.
okay, check on Google Classroom, okay? All right.